The upcoming Stalker, Two Heart of Chernobyl continues the series' tradition of blending open-world exploration with immersive horror and survival elements. Set in the dangerous Chernobyl exclusion zone, players will face mutated creatures, deadly anomalies, and hostile factions. Developed by GSC Game World, the game features enhanced graphics powered by Unreal Engine 5, which promises a highly detailed and atmospheric experience. The game's development has faced challenges, particularly due to the war in Ukraine, but it is on track for release in 2024. Phantom Blade Zero is an action RPG developed by S-Game that blends Chinese mythology, steampunk elements, and intense martial arts combat. Players assume the role of Soul, an elite assassin who is mortally wounded and only has 66 days to live, forcing him to unravel the mystery behind his betrayal before time runs out. The game offers a dark fantasy setting with fast-paced melee combat, cinematic boss battles, and a semi-open world for exploration.
Only a dead person can keep a secret.
Going where? This damned place! You're suicidal!
One last toast.
Mafia: The Old Country is the next installment in the beloved Mafia series, developed by Hangar 13 and published by 2K. Set in early 1900s, Sicily, the game explores the origins of organized crime, offering a deep, narrative-driven experience that stays true to the atmosphere of classic Mafia films. Players will navigate the brutal underworld, facing challenges of survival in this dangerous time period. Known for its rich storytelling and authentic world-building, this game promises a gritty mob tale filled with action and intrigue. Borderlands 4 is the latest entry in the iconic looter-shooter franchise developed by Gearbox Software and published by 2K Games. The game will introduce players to a new planet, shifting away from the familiar Pandora, while continuing the core formula of chaotic shooting and treasure hunting. Players will once again take on the role of a vault hunter, battling hordes of enemies in search of powerful loot and secret alien treasures. The game's narrative and art style remain true to the series' quirky and humorous tone, with the promise of more diverse gameplay environments. I.G.I is a first-person survival horror game being developed by Team Clout using Unreal Engine 5. The game is set in a grim and terrifying environment where players must uncover the disturbing truth behind a small town's descent into madness. Known for its realistic body horror elements, I.G.I features an advanced dismemberment system and highly detailed interactive environments. Players will face grotesque monsters in this atmospheric horror game, drawing inspiration from titles like Resident Evil and Dead Space.
Hello?
The next Tomb Raider game, developed by Crystal Dynamics and published by Amazon Games, will be powered by Unreal Engine 5. This entry promises to push the limits of visual fidelity and gameplay systems, offering a more lifelike Lara Croft and a new level of immersion. The game is still in early development and no concrete gameplay details have been shared yet, but it's expected to stay true to the franchise's globe-trotting action-adventure roots. Legend of Ymir is an upcoming MMORPG from WeMade, set in a Norse mythology-inspired world. The game, which builds upon the legacy of the MIR series, incorporates large-scale PvP battles and introduces blockchain elements, such as NFTs and token trading. Powered by Unreal Engine 5, the game promises stunning visuals, intricate environments, and intense combat mechanics. Players will explore a fantasy world where they must prevent the apocalyptic event of Ragnarok, offering both mobile and PC platforms. Retrieval is a cinematic survival horror game developed by 333 Studios, set on a distant planet named Ryhalion. Players take on the role of Hana Loche, a research team commander navigating the horrors lurking in a retro-futuristic base. The game promises immersive storytelling, advanced real-time visuals using Unreal Engine 5 and NVIDIA's Re-Steer technology, and a chilling atmosphere enhanced by Dolby Atmos sound. Players will experience a gripping narrative exploring themes of survival, loyalty, and fear in this sci-fi adventure.
There's nothing we can do.
There is no end.
Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a reactive turn-based RPG set in a surreal world inspired by La Belle Époque France. The game's narrative centers on Gustave and his fellow members of Expedition 33, who must prevent the mystical paintress from continuing her cycle of death. where each year she paints a number on a monolith, condemning all people of that age to disappear. The combat system uniquely blends real-time action with turn-based mechanics, allowing players to dodge, parry, and counter enemy attacks in real time.
And every year, an expedition departs for the continent with one hopeless mission: destroy the paintress so she can never paint death again. We'll break the cycle so she can't steal anyone else's future.
This world is full of wonders.
Yet everywhere we go, we walk with death.
Do you mean we're the only ones left?
Dune Awakening is an open-world survival MMO developed by Funcom, set on the iconic desert planet of Arrakis. This alternate version of the Dune universe imagines a world where Paul Atreides was never born, creating a fresh narrative twist. Players must survive the harsh desert landscape, navigate treacherous guild wars, and control the precious spice while battling sandworms and other dangers.
From the shadows. Take what you can from the fallen. On Arrakis, nothing of value is wasted. Mine, harvest, and gather with your group to build bases and unlock more advanced equipment, like the blood purifier. Refine the blood you collected from your enemies to extract drinkable water. Craft improved equipment using fabricators. Replicate your bases in new locations with the blueprint system, and then sell blueprints of your
Wuchang Fallen Feathers is a Souls-like action RPG set during the late Ming Dynasty in China, developed by Linzi Games. Players will control Wuchang, a pirate warrior afflicted by the mysterious ornithopy disease, which grants her great power but slowly transforms her into a monstrous creature. The game features intense combat against grotesque enemies, blending historical elements with dark fantasy. The narrative revolves around Wuchang's quest to uncover the truth behind the epidemic that is devastating the land of Shu, as well as her own mysterious past.
I should know. It runs in my blood.
Neo Berlin 2087 is an upcoming cyberpunk action RPG developed by Elysium Game Studio. Set in a dystopian future Berlin, players will take on the role of a detective named Nolan. The game blends first and third-person perspectives, allowing for both intense combat and stealth mechanics. In this world, technological advancements have created a stark division between the wealthy, who live in luxury inside the city walls, and the poor, who struggle to survive in the slums and the dangerous wasteland outside.
Whatever she knows must be big. A journey to save her. I hope I'm not too late. Whoever's responsible doesn't want this to be solved. I'm being followed, targeted. The truth is always a threat when corruption is in control. Maybe I can stop this city from falling into chaos.
Chrono Odyssey is an open-world action MMORPG developed by Chrono Studio and published by Kakao Games. Set in the vast fantasy world of Satera, the game revolves around an eternal war against the void. players will explore a beautifully rendered world with dynamic time manipulation mechanics, allowing them to control time and space during combat and exploration. Built using Unreal Engine 5, the game features stunning visuals, immersive storytelling, and a deep character customization system. The highly anticipated Silent Hill 2 remake, developed by Bloober Team and published by Konami, brings back the psychological horror classic with modern enhancements. The game will feature overhauled visuals, immersive soundscapes, and an expanded world. Players will experience James Sunderland's journey to Silent Hill, where he searches for his deceased wife in a town filled with eerie mysteries and grotesque creatures.
I know what you are. I know why I needed you. But it's all over now. I don't need you anymore. I'm ready. Mary?
Enotria, the last song, is an Italian folklore-inspired Souls-like action RPG developed by I.G.I Games. Set in a stunning sun-lit world, the game challenges players to break free from the twisted, eternal play known as the Canovaccio, where the world and its inhabitants are trapped. Players assume the role of the maskless one, the only person free from the roles imposed by the mysterious authors.
On guard! To your greatest final chapter.
I.G.I Origins is an upcoming tactical first-person shooter, serving as a prequel to the original Project I.G.I games from the early 2000s. Developed by Antimatter Games, the game is set during the Cold War in the 1980s. Players take on the role of Michael King, codenamed Regent, an ex-SAS soldier recruited by MI6 for covert missions to prevent global conflict. The game features a mix of stealth and tactical combat, with players deciding between sneaky espionage or intense firefights.
Knives or razors. Sometimes you need to help a scrimp friend. Oh.
Marvel 1943. Rise of Hydra is an upcoming single-player action-adventure game set during World War II, featuring Captain America and Black Panther as key protagonists. The game is being developed by Skydance New Media and directed by Amy Hennig, the creator behind Uncharted.
Please, just stick to the rooftops. Be careful, stand beside me.
When am I not?
It's better if I tackle this one alone.
You may.
Spine is an intense, cinematic, single-player action game set in a dystopian cyberpunk world developed by Neki. The game revolves around a protagonist named Redline, a rebellious street artist who teams up with a sentient combat implant called Spine. Together, they challenge an oppressive AI regime controlling the futuristic city. The game emphasizes fast-paced, close-quarters combat inspired by gun fu movies, blending acrobatic gunplay with intense melee choreography.
I never asked for this.
The Relic. The First Guardian is a semi-open world action RPG developed by Project Cloud Games and published by Perp Games. Set in the dark fantasy world of Arsiltis, which has been destroyed by the shattering of a great relic, players take on the role of the last Guardian tasked with gathering the relic's pieces and sealing the void that threatens the world. Abyss World Apocalypse is a third-person action RPG set in the mystical land of Nordinia, where players will explore the remnants of the Old Tide and uncover ancient secrets. The game blends dark fantasy with a rich narrative, allowing players to shape the outcome of the world.